listen, we'll talk in more detail about Mohamed Salah, but when you hear a quote like that, it's never as obvious as a quote sounds, right? There's usually an ulterior motive behind a player coming out.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's got his agent to post stuff. Sometimes he's gone up to someone that works in the press and said, I just need 5 minutes of your time. It does work both ways. Yeah. When you hear something like that from Mohamed Salah, what does that initially tell you?
I still stand by it. I just think he's desperate to stay. I don't get the sense of someone that's saying to themselves, I'm desperate to get out of here. He wants to stay. He's almost trying to goad the Liverpool hierarchy to give him what he wants, the years that he wants. I don't think it comes down to money. I think it's more the length of contract that he wants. But that doesn't, to me, scream like someone who's just like, yeah, I'm out of here. Do you know what I mean? He wants to stay, but for whatever reasons, Liverpool must be a little bit hesitant in giving him what he wants. So I'd love to see him stay. He's one of the best out there, if not the best in the world right now. He's certainly the best, in my opinion, in Premier League history in that position. And it'd be a shame for the Premier League to leave someone who's still at the absolute maximum of their ability to just walk out the Premier League like that.
Do you think he has more chance of getting what he wants at Liverpool if other big-name players, for argument's sake, Trent, leaves? I.e., there's more money left in the pot. Maybe,
but again, I don't think it's the money. I think it's more length of years, and maybe they're just reluctant, although he looks like he's in great nick, maybe reluctant to give him let's say he wants a 3-year extension, and they're like, well, we'll give you 2+1 with an option. He'd probably like, no, I want the solid 3. Who knows? But as I said, it'd be a real shame. And for Liverpool fans as well, he's been brilliant, hasn't he? I mean, there's an argument now. The conversation is now, is he a better Premier League player than Steven Gerrard? That's now the argument.
Yeah. Well, we spoke to Danny Murphy about that. He said no.
Yeah.
But it's close, right? It's always about whether or not your name's in that conversation.
Exactly, it must be. He's been fantastic, so I hope it gets resolved, but at the minute it doesn't look like it's going to get resolved anytime soon.
When you make a business deal, and I'm led to believe this, I haven't made too many myself, but you have to make it. This is going to break. You have to make that decision with your head, not your heart.
Yeah.
I just wonder if Liverpool are going to lose someone like Trent, and the Van Dijk thing's up in the air, if maybe their arms are a little bit tired as to decisions they have to make. They can't be seen to let 3 of their biggest and greatest ever players leave in the same window, can they?
Yeah, and then you've got Alisson, the goalkeeper, come up next year. Although that one might be a little bit easier because Kelleher's still there and you've got Mamardashvili coming in. Yeah. So maybe that situation isn't as drastic as the one we find ourselves in now.
Well, I suppose in that scenario, it's a good point you make, that they don't hold all the cards and neither does the goalkeeper.
No.
It's sort of 50-50, but in this case,
the players have got all the power.
They've got all the power.
I think Virgil will stay. Trent, the more I look at it, I think he's probably going to go. I just feel that the conversations that I've heard, the way that the kind of body language that he's kind of suggesting, everything points to me that he is someone who's made his mind up and wants to go to Real Madrid. And fair play to him, he's been fantastic.
Do you think that Trent gets a little bit more stick than perhaps Virgil or even Salah?
Yeah, because he's one of their own. That hurts that little bit more. You can't hide the fact Virgil came from Southampton. They bought who's the other one he's up for? Salah from Fiorentina, Roma.
Yeah.
So it's one of them where there was no real connection to the club until they got there. Trent was from a little boy. He's Scouser himself. He's grew up in the area. He's been at Liverpool his whole life. I think kids in that area identify themselves with the likes of Trent, with Saka at Arsenal, with Marcus Rashford at Manchester United. So you always get that little bit more time if you're going for a bit of a bad spell.
Yeah.
So, but when you do decide to leave, like Grealish at Villa, there'll be certain supporters out there that will never ever forgive Jack Grealish for leaving Aston Villa, even to go and better himself at Manchester City. Trent will be the same. We've had callers on, people going, I'll never forgive him, it's disgraceful.
Yeah.
He's not going to Everton. He's going to Real Madrid. So, unfortunately, in that scenario, you're never ever going to be able to appease everybody.
Does it make the fans' view easier? Does it make the player's decision easier if that player leaves at the end of a very, very successful season? If Liverpool, for argument's sake, were to win the Premier League and the Champions League, and Salah goes, or Trent goes, do you think the players go, do you know what, they've given us a season we can never forget, he goes with our blessing?
Potentially. I still think there'll be some with Trent that will go no, because he's one of their own. But I think for certainly Salah, if he was to go at the end of the season and Liverpool win the Champions League and the Premier League and the League Cup, for instance, I think but still, I think majority of Liverpool fans will go, do you know what? For your time at Liverpool, you're a 10 out of 10. You won us all the trophies you did, all the goals you scored, all the records you broke. You gave us absolutely everything. That's all we can ask for.
Earlier on, we broke the news that supposedly Marcus Rashford has turned down 2 or 3 bids from Saudi football to go out and earn round about £35 million a year.
Yeah.
Does that surprise you that he's turned it down? Does that tell you that he's still got ambitions to play at the highest level? What does that tell you when you hear that?
Might be a little bit of both. There might be a little bit of ambition that he's thinking I'm too young to go to Saudi, but also it might be a little bit of a PR stunt because you think, what message does that send out? He's 27 years old going to Saudi. that would send the message to me that, okay, he's done. He doesn't want to play anymore. Because then if he's only 27, how does he come back from that?
You can't, right?
You can't,
that's the end.
and that's where I think is a little bit of a PR stunt.
Okay. We're going to put handbrake on football chat just for the time being. We're going to have a quick break. When we come back, we are going to be speaking to one of the 2 finalists ahead of this year's PDC World Darts Championship final. It's live on talkSPORT tonight. Build-up begins from 7. We'll be taking you all the...
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.